Thanks for tuning in on this lovely Wednesday. Got 80 for a high today, 82 tomorrow. Rain on Friday with a high of 83. More rain Saturday, 82. These are all the
And
possibilities.
more rain on Sunday, but not to be the bearer of
I'm not
bad
looking
news.
that far in advance. You're looking too far ahead here.
Okay. All right. Well, people have to make weekend plans,
It's
Richard.
true. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
It's okay to look ahead when it's the weekend.
Whatever your plans are, plan to bring an umbrella.
Yeah.
How about that?
Rain jacket.
Okay, good plan.
Something like that.
Yeah, man. Listen, we are on YouTube, youtube.com, Real Talk 995 TV. You can go there and watch the show if you're so inclined, as many people do. Run across them all the time. People are like, hey, nice shirt. I saw the shirt you were wearing today. I was looking, it's like, okay, great.
And then you're out at the grocery store later, and you're really, they're like, oh, there he is in that shirt again.
He's still wearing that
Looking
shirt.
sharp.
Yeah, well,
Yes.
things don't change that much in a couple hours.
Sharp-dressed man, Richard.
But we got new lighting.
Yeah.
New
Looks
lighting.
a little different in here this
It is.
morning.
It's upbeat. It's
I
happy.
kind of like it.
I like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's nice.
Thank you, Leland Whaley.
He hung these things.
Man, he and Frank got in here yesterday, our engineer, and knocked it out. So thank you guys very
Made
much.
the good stuff happen. Great job. Well done. Appreciate you very much. Work Trucks is downtown at 2324 3rd Avenue South. Work Trucks has got 100-plus vehicles on their lot at any given time. They've got cargo vans. They got passenger vans. They got box trucks, large and small. They have got pickup trucks, flatbeds, you name it. They'll make it happen for you. Outfit that truck the way you like, and then sell it to you at a great low price. They also have a service center across the street. If you have a truck right now you didn't buy from Work Trucks, doesn't matter. The fact is they will be happy to service that truck for you at a great price. And the important thing is they know getting you back on the road is the important thing. That's what really matters, is getting your wheels rolling again so that you're able to work. A lot of times, people will be like, well, we can't find the part. It's 10 days out, whatever. They know you can't stay off the road for 10 days. They're going to find that part. They're going to get it in. It's just that simple. All work is done on site as well. I love that. Work Trucks with an X, LLC.com online. Work Trucks with an X, LLC.com online. Or you can find them live and in person at 2324 3rd Avenue South. Work Trucks downtown, where they are all about trucks. Let's do it, man.
And now, it's Dixon and Vining's top 3 things you need to know.
Well, you no longer have Jasmine Crockett to kick around. James Tallarico, a Democratic state lawmaker from Texas with a surging national profile, defeated the representative whose district was drawn out of existence in the last little gerrymandering job the Texans did. Jasmine Crockett, nationally known politician, progressive firebrand, vocal critic, and foil of President Donald Trump, has been beaten in the Democratic primary, so she will not be going on to the Senate race at large. The Republican side is going to be a runoff between Ken Paxton and the current Senator John Cornyn.
Yeah, that apparently is a pretty tight race there. We'll see how that all goes.
Yeah, actually, I think, because there were 3 people in this race, I think the fact that Paxton did as well as he did, he's probably going to be, I think people are tired of John Cornyn. He's a rhino.
Yeah.
And they've kind of reached their limit with him. Speaking of rhinos in Texas, Dan Crenshaw also defeated yesterday.
Wow. Did anybody see that coming? Oh, yes. Kind of.
Well,
there was a little bit of writing on the wall there.
He sort of half saw it coming.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hey.
Come on.
Easy now.
These are the jokes, people.
Easy.
Yeah, boy. He should have kept his eye on the campaign.
Okay,
anyway,
Richard.
What?
You're kicking the man while he's down.
Well, I mean, my foot's right down there next to him. It's easier. Anyway,
Jeez.
Here's the thing.
Yes.
He also has been kind of rhinoistic of late. Crenshaw has become famous for one particular thing, and that is when people start looking at his finances and going, you seem to have made a lot of money on investments since you got into Congress. His response is to slap you with a cease and desist and a gag order.
Mm-hmm.
He doesn't want people talking about how much money he's made since he got into Congress or where his investments are coming from.
Isn't that interesting? That seems to happen a lot for those that get into D.C.
Yeah.
They're like, don't look here.
I'm not sure I remember anyone becoming a swamp creature that quickly.
Mm-hmm.
I think Crenshaw became a swamp creature like almost overnight. It was a little frightening.
Yeah.
Anyway, he's out now, and he was beaten by, oh gosh, who was he beaten by? Does it matter? No,
it doesn't.
Never mind.
He was beaten.
He was beaten by somebody else.
And good that Crockett was beaten.
President Donald Trump said U.S. military strikes in Iran have eliminated much of the regime's anticipated leadership succession bench, raising new questions about who's going to emerge to lead the Islamic Republic after the death of Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. Most of the people we had in mind are dead, Trump said. So, we had some in mind from that group that is dead, and now we have another group. They may be dead, and also based on reports. So I guess we have a third wave coming in.
Yep.
Pretty soon we're not going to have anybody. We're not going to know anybody. It's going to be a nightmare.
Well,
Everybody's
again,
gonna-
when you talk about these candidates, and I think some of them are from that old regime, you got to be. Trump's very concerned about that.
Sure.
That you don't want the same thing taking over the country, and then having the same issue down the road. He's like, we want to make sure that there's some really new leadership that aren't connected to all of these that were just taken out in those first strikes during Operation Epic Fury on Saturday. Let's make sure that we've got some new blood in there that really wants to do right by the Iranian people, that they're not in there just for a power grab so that, just the elite profit from everything that's happening in Iran. So let's hope that happens. But this is going to be a difficult situation to make this happen. It really is.
I think much like the Maduro situation, anybody who takes over in Iran is going to realize they are starting off on thin ice.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, listen, we'll come back if we have to. Don't think we won't. Yeah, so you're going to start walking the straight line. You're not going to have a nuclear weapon, and you're going to be nice to everybody. Now, it could be that person's going to get overthrown by the populace, because if they're part of the current regime, even a low-level person in the current regime, then, they probably deserve to be overthrown, and we can install a secular leader there. Not we, but they can install a secular leader. And it might make all the difference in the world in that region.
And the thing is, too, I think Donald Trump is very aware what could happen, but at the same time, he's trying to be hands off. He's trying to say, you all need to determine that. This is your country. This is, where you live. And we don't want it to be anything really connected with the U.S. other than you're going to live in peace in that region. Yep. We're not going to do this anymore. And by the way, Iran is ticked off everybody in that region. They're attacking everybody. It's like, wait a minute, we've lived in peace next to each other. We've never had a problem. Why are you hitting sites in our country right now?
We're just mad. We're mad at the world.
They got that whole area all churned up. And again, peace needs to be there, and that's the main goal. And if you can get that and quit with the nukes, that's going to be successful for Donald Trump. And again, that region and the rest of the world, all of us, benefit from whoever the leader is going to be next.
I'm sure you've heard the latest Democrat talking point. I love it when they do this. They all get on the same page. They have a little meeting, and they go, here's what we're all going to say. And the
believe it.
Latest talking point is Donald Trump went in there, and he didn't have a plan.
That's
it was
ridiculous.
just go in and blow things up, and they didn't have a plan.
You're ticked off because he's not telling you the plan, because you guys blab it out and tell everybody.
Right.
He's not telling you the plan.
No.
Trust me, Pete Hegseth, and his entire administration that is a part of this military action, they've had a plan. They've had a plan in the works for a long time now.
Yep. They have a plan, and they were like 3/4 of the way done with it. 2/3, 3/4, something like that. Former UAB police officer has been charged with 7 felonies, including using his badge to steal vehicles and then using a lost title certificate to try to retitle those particular vehicles in his own name. How exactly he's doing this, we don't have the information, but we understand that he ended up with both a Buick Verona, I didn't know what that was, and a BMW motorcycle as a result of this, a BMW 330i. There was a Kawasaki motorcycle, a GMC Terrain, a Ford F-150. Good Lord. This guy was just taking them left and right and then claiming they were his. And he was using his badge. He was not a terribly old guy. I mean, this is a guy who was maybe young and stupid and got off to a bad start. But
yeah, you know what? If you had worked hard doing your job as a UAB police officer, you might not have time to be doing all this stealing of vehicles.
He is no longer a UAB police officer.
No, he's not.
There's a shock.
You're done.
Solomon Dion
Toast.
Moss Jr., charged in Jefferson County District Court with 3 counts of using his public office for personal gain and 4 counts of tampering with the Alabama Criminal Justice Information Center computer system. He went in there trying to, I think, either change titles or track titles, something of that nature. Anyway, we'll find out when the trial comes. We'll get a good long look at exactly what this guy did. 6:15, our time with Dixon, and Vining ProLift Garage Doors is ready to sell you a brand new garage door. And you say, why would I need a new garage door, Richard? What are you talking about? Dinged up, bent up, broken glass, rotten wood, handle that doesn't work, lock hasn't worked in forever. These are all reasons for getting a new garage door. You'd be amazed at how whisper quiet a new door can be. You'd be amazed at how beautiful it can change the look and feel of your home. All you need to do is contact ProLift Garage Doors at 286-9727 or find them online at proliftdoors.com. Proliftdoors.com. Check there and take a good long look at the variety of options you have, and they'll be happy to come out and expertly install that door once you purchase it. 12 months, same as cash. Price is lower than you might believe. That is ProLift Garage Doors. When your garage door lets you down, get an uplifting experience from ProLift Garage Doors. ProLiftDoors.com, 286-9727. 621 Talk 99.5, Talk 99.5.com. Thanks a heap for hanging out with us. We are all over the place. We got an app. You can listen to us there. We're on YouTube, youtube.com, Real Talk 995 TV. And or you can just open the window and we'll talk really loud.
Yeah, well, we
That also
can.
works.
We could if we
Yeah.
needed to.
Okay.
I don't know. That might hurt our vocal
Whatever it
cords.
takes, man.
Yeah, whatever it
The
takes.
important thing
right?
is you're listening.
Yeah, download that app. It's super easy and it's free. And you'll enjoy listening to us or watching us or checking out the podcast there as well. We're looking at the weather forecast just a minute ago, Richard, up on our monitors going, oh, there's a lot of rain coming our way on Saturday. That means you got a few days here to get in touch with B-Dry for those of you that have noticed that there is some water in places at your home that it should not be. And that's the trouble. A lot of homes here in central Alabama, for some reason, deal with that. We've got high humidity, so sometimes that means that moisture is making its way into your home through the basement area. Mildew on the walls, you smell that musty smell, go ahead and get it sealed up. That's what it's all about, encapsulation of a crawl space. If you're seeing or smelling issues in the basement, certainly that is something that B-Dry can help you with. And David Fevet and the guys there are very knowledgeable. This is a company that's been in business for more than 65 years. They know exactly what they're doing when they come out. You talk to them about what you're experiencing, then let them look around and see what's going on. Then they'll tell you how they're going to fix it. And that is a free quote. If you want to call them today, the number is 942-1976. Their website is bdryalabama.com, and I encourage you to go there. There are a bunch of videos. You can see David there in some of those videos talking with customers and some of what customers have said about B-Dry. That's always good to see. Call the pros at B-Dry today. Get it done. bdryalabama.com or 205-942-1976.
The Alabama Supreme Court has issued an order to carry out the sentence of death row inmate Charles Lee Burton. Finally, he was sentenced to death for the 1991 capital murder of Doug Battle in Talladega County. This was at an auto zone. Burton did not pull the trigger, but he was part of the group that was there to rob the auto zone and apparently was outside when Battle was shot. But that's basically the way it works. If you're part of a group and somebody dies, you're as guilty of murder as the guy who pulled the trigger.
Yep, that's why you want to choose your friends very wisely, Richard.
Oh, yeah.
That's what it's all about. That's
Interestingly,
what you tell the kids.
by the way, the guy who pulled the trigger,
Yep.
he got life in prison without the possibility of parole, and he died in prison in 2020. So basically, that was a death sentence, too, when you
sure
get
was.
right down to it.
Mhm.
But think about this, 1991.
Long time to be
I mean,
in
come
jail.
on.
Long time to.
35 years this
Mhm.
guy's been in jail. Well, they go back and forth on this. Now they're trying to put off the execution because he's Muslim, and it's the holy month of Ramadan.
Yeah, he says Ramadan. You wouldn't execute me during Ramadan.
You wouldn't hit a guy with glasses, would you?
My goodness.
I mean, come on. Think about this for a second. First off, you weren't Muslim when you were involved in this murder. You became a Muslim in prison.
Yeah. Apparently, his
Yeah.
family, father was Baptist.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm not sure what mom was something different, but yeah, you weren't. There was no Muslim tie whatsoever
Mm-hmm.
growing up and even leading up to that. It was
No.
like, okay,
Yeah.
this I guess obviously took place while you were in prison.
Yeah, not uncommon that people undergo some sort of prison conversion. But, it being your, quote, holy month, end quote, doesn't do one thing for Doug Battle, who died in 1991, or for his family, his wife, his children, his parents, any of the other family members that he had. It doesn't really matter to them. You didn't really think much about Doug Battle while you were involved in this robbery that ended up in his death, did you?
Nope.
You didn't worry at all about the people that were in the store
No,
where
and
you were robbing.
I think that's where we are with this. Governor Ivey has set the date and the time, and that's not really relevant when it comes to you. And you're making a very good point that he didn't give a rip about Doug Battle's life, his family without Doug. And so, that's not even a consideration. I don't think really anybody cares at this point.
Out of all the things that Donald Trump is doing, once we clean up this mess in Iran, which won't be that much longer, 6 weeks tops, I'm thinking. Once we are, sure that Venezuela is nice and stable. Once we have got this tariff thing under control.
Mm-hmm. We got a number of things here on our plate.
I would really like to see the whole process of the death penalty be overhauled. Not in terms of why should we be killing these people. In some cases, it's, these people need to be on the express escalator to hell. There's some people that are just so completely brazen in their crimes. I'll give you an example. Dylan Roof. I mean, here's a guy that went into the basement of a church, a black church in South Carolina, and shot 5 people out of 6 and told the 6th one, tell everybody what happened here? Like, what? No, that guy needs to go straight to the electric chair. I mean, there's not really a question about whether or not he did it.
The cases that are blatant and you have all the evidence that you need that this person is truly guilty of the crime. And sometimes there are those where you're like, this one is, could we retry this one? Is there some evidence that's been brought forward that maybe there's some question in there? But I'm with you on the ones that are like, there's no question that this person committed the crime.
Yeah.
Let's move this a little. This guy probably had appeal upon appeal upon appeal about why he shouldn't be executed.
Sure.
Based on that he wasn't the one that actually killed Doug. He was there with the person that murdered him.
And here we are 35 years later. Doug Battle's children are 35 years older. His now widow is 35 years older. And so is this guy. But Doug Battle didn't age one day after that, And you look at it and say, boy, oh boy, how could we have possibly sped this along in this case? Either decided that, you didn't deserve the death penalty, but you did deserve life in prison without the possibility of parole, or you did deserve the death penalty, and we could have done this much, much sooner. Because how much money has been wasted keeping this guy alive,
housing and feeding this guy
for 35 years while this has been going on. And that's true of so many of these cases and many of them are, like we said, there's no question at all in this. Now, you'll run across these folks on the left who are all anti-death penalty, and they'll try to obfuscate and cloud issues and so on and so forth. I remember one not that long ago, 3-4 years ago, where there were multiple eyewitnesses. And in the 11th hour, the defense was trying to claim that nobody really, there's no hard evidence of this. You're like, dude, you have been on death row for 30 years. You have tried every appeal there is. Now at the 11th hour, your claim is going to be, I didn't do it? No.
That doesn't work.
No.
The evidence shows what you need to know.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's not going to happen. I would really like to see a situation where from the time of arrest to the time of the death penalty actually being implemented, 18 months tops. If we can't get that done in 18 months, then give the guy life in prison without the possibility of parole and stop wasting our time and money. But in those cases where you can very clearly say, yeah, this guy shot 5 people in cold blood, he needs to go, 18 months start to finish. He should not see.
Don't give him 30 years of appeal.
That may be less of a death penalty ruling overhaul as much as a court overhaul.
It could be. That's really what it is. But, I mean, I don't think somebody who commits a crime like that should see more than 2 more birthdays. And that's only if you're lucky. Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, 6:30, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Stick around. Hill Street Blues was appointment viewing in the 1980s. You didn't miss it, man. Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Mike Post with that theme. He was kind of the king of the 1980s TV
Theme music,
themes.
there was a similar vibe in all of those.
Yeah. And there were always three stories as part of Hill Street Blues. You could kind of break it down. It was formulaic. There were two fairly serious ones, one having to do with relationships within the station, one having to do with police activity that was fairly serious. And then the third one had to do with police activity and was funny. And they always interwove them throughout the course of the hour. It was very, very formulaic. It was like The Love Boat, except, without all the guest stars.
Yeah.
A little more serious most of the time.
A little more serious. But like I said, there was always at least one funny story in there. They always fit one in there that had a pretty good laugh in it. 636, Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Thanks very much for hanging out with us. eTech Communications, etech.cc. If you are looking to get a phone system for your business, you don't want to waste a lot of time, you don't want to waste a lot of energy, and you sure don't want to waste money. Well, if you go with copper cable, baby, you are throwing all of those things away. What you need is voice over IP. What you need is etech.cc, virtual assistant, call forwarding, 2 to 200 phones, everything you need, nothing you don't. And the price is oh so right. etech.cc to find out more. etech.cc to find out more. Okay, let's talk about the stock market yesterday. It took a tumble.
Yeah, it was a little bit ugly.
At one point, it was down 1,200 points. It ended up down 400
Yeah.
in the long run, so it
Yeah.
came back.
Well, and again, anytime you have conflict, and that's what we have right now with Iran, and you talk about oil prices, people get a little jumpy there at the stock market, and you have these sell-offs. And yesterday was, it started out really ugly because you and I were talking about it yesterday morning. It was like, oh, we're down 1,200 points.
Yep.
That is yikes. But it kind of bounced back, and today's looking a little bit better. The futures are.
The price of oil went up a little bit. That had something to do with it. Kind of freaked some people out about that.
Yeah.
But don't worry about it. I believe what Donald Trump says is absolutely correct, which is once this conflict is over, the price of oil is going to stabilize at an even lower rate than it did before. And, we in the United States of America, we have enough of our own oil to sustain us for the foreseeable future. Now, oil is a global commodity, so your pricing is going to swing up, down, and sideways based upon global use. I don't know why people have such trouble understanding that. This is not just within the confines of our borders. Everybody uses oil. Everybody. So when everybody needs oil and the demand goes up and the supply stays the same, the price goes up. When the demand goes down and the supply stays the same, the price goes down. When the supply increases or decreases and demand remains the same, the price goes either up or down depending on the balance between the supply and the demand. It's not rocket science, guys. It's not rocket science. I always think about back when Joe Biden was in office and the price of gas was slowly and steadily climbing and climbing and climbing, and it was getting well over $3. It was getting into the $3.40, $3.50 range. I remember it was costing me well over $60 to gas up my truck every time I went to this.
That was difficult.
Really annoying. And the regular argument that you got from people was, well, one man can't change the price of oil. One man doesn't have anything to do with the price of oil. Oh, Joe Biden's just one man. He can't do anything about the price of oil.
Mm-hmm.
And then when Vladimir Putin decided to send troops into Ukraine and create that situation, people were like, oh, this is a Putin price hike. It's Putin. He's responsible for the price of oil going up.
Thought you said one man wasn't responsible.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I heard one man couldn't change the price of oil.
That's
I don't
right.
understand.
Uh-huh.
What are you talking about? These are people that just refuse to understand basic economics, I guess.
Yeah, and overall, when we talk about the stock market, and I'm looking at like the last 6 months, we're up 2,879.
Oh, yeah.
You and I were discussing early this year. Are we going to see 50,000? Then all of a sudden,
Boom.
that afternoon, we
yeah.
went to 50,000. It was like, okay. So, anytime that there's conflict like this, we're going to see volatility in the stock market. We're going to see, especially when you talk about Iran, that everybody's like, oh my God, gasoline, and the price of the barrel of gas goes up, and it's like, okay, everybody just calm down. Much of this is temporary, and more than likely the stock market will bounce back. I mean, we're
Sure.
in really good shape.
We
And,
just-
and if you look over like 5 years over the Dow, it's tremendous. It's like 17,000.
Oh, yeah.
That's where we've gone to in the last 5 years.
Been an amazing 5 years.
Yeah.
You really just need to make sure that we don't let more whack jobs take over in Iran, have people that are more stable there, because they've always been the fluctuating ones with the oil, and a lot of it is because we won't let people buy it. And Donald Trump is keeping folks from buying Russian oil as well. They're shipping it off to China. Can't do anything about that. But by slapping that large tariff on India, he made sure that they didn't buy any Russian oil. Then they found out they could get along without it, amazingly. So in the long run, if we can stabilize that region and get somebody better in charge in Iran who's going to be more even-handed when it comes to oil prices, then you can expect that the price of oil will once again plummet and will be down probably in the high ones for gasoline.
That would be incredible to see that again. And I think that that's a possibility. I think under
yeah.
the Trump administration, we could see that again once, as you said, the conflict is over with and we see what the regime change is going to be, and hopefully that's positive. Once again, another plus to all of this. So-
185, 199, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We will absolutely see the stock market bounce back from this. The reality of the situation is this. There's a bunch of nervous Nellies on Wall Street. These people that are investing, some of them are, they're doing this because they're very wise and they understand what else is going on, and they're like, okay, now's a good time for me to sell because I can make some money off of this. We hit 50,000 recently, so obviously there's a lot of money there.
I've ridden
And
the
if I sell
wave
off
long
whatever-
enough and I'm ready to cash out.
But
I mean, there's all of that going on.
Probably 75 to 80% of the people that are invested are just a bunch of chickens who are like, I got to get out. I'm getting out. Oh, no, this is terrible. It's a nightmare. We got to get out. You're like, what are you doing? What are you doing? If you just ride this out, in fact, smart people are getting in right now. They're going, oh, buy the dip. Let's get in on this thing while we can. Donald Trump obviously knows what he's doing when it comes to running an economy. He's already proven that. We hit 50 once. We'll hit it again.
Yeah.
We'll hit 52 before the end of this year. That's my prediction.
I think we might go higher than that.
We could very well.
I think we will.
Yeah, I mean, he thinks by the end of his term we're going to hit, what, 100?
I think he said 100.
Yeah,
I'm like,
that's
okay,
insane.
hang on a second.
You might be pushing it a little bit there.
That's a bit much, but
Yeah.
if he can make that happen, I'm sure every American would be like, oh, this is awesome.
It's going to be amazing.
It is.
Unbelievable.
So maybe you
Everybody's
should
gonna
jump
be
in right now.
I really wanted to hit 100.
100 seems a little out there. If that happens, I would be shocked.
Far-fetched is the word we're looking for. And it seems as though, little by little, these members of Congress are beginning to get a handle on this and realizing that there's nothing unconstitutional about what Donald Trump did here. There is nothing, he followed the War Powers Act of 1973. Congress was informed within 24 hours of going in. He has got 30 to 60 days. 60 days is the outside here, and then another 30 if you need 30 more days to withdraw your troops. So overall you can have 90 days. This will be over before 90 days.
Oh yeah,
I honestly
I
believe
think so
it will.
too.
Yeah. And what's really, this is so sad. I remember when Obamacare passed, and all these corporations, AT&T in particular, took $1 billion write-down on their stock because they said, this is going to cost us this much money. And according to business law, when something of this nature passes, when you have a bill like this pass, we have to inform our shareholders and take the write-down the day it's signed into law. We don't get to wait on it. We don't get to go put it off or whatever, because then it's sort of sandbagging, and you're surprising people down the line. You have to take that write-down on your stock the day that law is signed into law. Well, good Lord, the Senate and Henry Waxman, I remember, whole bunch of people. We're going to have hearings. How dare they? Who do they think that? All these corporations were taking these write-downs. We need to call these people in. We need to call them to the and then it had to be explained to them. Guys, this is the law. This is a law that you passed a couple of years ago. Do you not know what you're passing? Are you unaware? Do you not read these things? And Waxman then called off the hearings once he realized that he was in the wrong on this thing. Well, that's what's going on here. How is it that we have to inform our own elected officials on basic civics The War Powers Act has been in place for 50 years, since 1973. 53 years. Do we really have to explain to Jasmine Crockett? Do we really
Yes,
have
you
to
do.
explain to Ilan
Jasmine,
Omar?
you do. Yes,
AOC?
yes, you do. Yes, all the three you've just named.
Ah.
Absolutely, they have
With
no
those three,
idea.
I think that was a question that answered itself.
Apparently so.
I have no idea.
But, they're running around, this is illegal and he can't do this and unconstitutional, blah, blah, blah. And then 2 days later, they're like, okay, never mind.
And now we know why Jasmine Crockett did not advance into the Senate.
Good
vote in
gracious, they
Texas.
just look like a bunch of bumbling idiots.
I kind of
Like,
wish.
go back and do your history.
I kind of wish Jasmine had gotten the nomination.
No, do
because
not wish that.
I think she's imminently beatable in Texas. That's the
Yes,
thing.
but-
Tallarico might actually
I mean,
win this
have you
thing.
not had enough of her?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I've had enough of her.
But I'm pretty sure that, her running,
Oh,
you could be relatively certain that Ken Paxton would win
wipe
that
her-
thing
yeah.
in a walk with her, assuming that he wins in the runoff, which is several weeks away. When's our primary anyway, by the way?
That's a good
It's
question.
in May,
I think
isn't
it is in
Wanna
May,
say
but I
it's in
don't know
May.
the exact date.
Yeah. We're going to have to hustle and get a few of these Senate candidates on,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we've had Jared Hudson on. We can have him on again. We can
Sure.
talk to Barry Moore. Steve Marshall, of course. Got to talk
We
to him.
need Steve.
Yeah.
Yeah. Tommy Tuberville running for
Governor.
governor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we can
Any
have
other?
our good friend Ken McFeeters come
Ken
back in
can
again.
come back. Sure.
And then there's at least one other guy. who's actually
May
in the running.
19th is the primary.
May 19th.
Yeah,
Okay.
May
All
19th.
right.
It
I'll
was-
make sure I'm out of town. Just kidding. I will be here. 647 with Dixon and Vining. And when you are selling a piece of property, you might just get yourself a listing agent. And your listing agent might just be, let's say, brutally honest with you. Because that is exactly what happened with one customer who recently brought their listing agent in to Granger Thaggart Auction Marketing. He said, look, we listing agents really, we don't know how to create the thing. Everybody wants there to be a bidding war for their property. That's what you really are hoping for and begging for. Well, that's exactly what is happening with auctions. It's a bidding war right from the get-go. And listing agents aren't trained to do that, and they know that. And sometimes, like in this case, they'll admit it. They'll say, look, we're afraid sellers are going to learn about this, and that scares us. No one will ever call us again if you guys don't worry about it. Don't worry. If you have a listing agent, you bring them along to Granger Thaggart Auction Marketing. You learn how this works, because it could be an absolutely amazing possible way. We know you're going to get the best market value when you start talking about having, people in a bidding war with each other. Doing away with the contingencies, doing away with the punch lists and all the stuff that is a problem, and having a date certain of sale and a date certain of closing. Listing agents are a little worried about that stuff because they can't promise any of that, but Granger Thaggart Auction Marketing absolutely can. But bring your agent along. If you have one, go ahead. Bring the agent along. They're going to be pleased. You're going to be pleased. Everybody's going to be happy about it. By the way, the buyer pays all the closing costs and the cost of sale as well. So you get all the money. Pretty good. Granger Thaggart Auction Marketing, gtauctions.com to find out more. gtauctions.com. 6:53. Talk 99.5, talk995.com. We have got Pentagon officials holding a briefing a little bit later on what's going on in Iran.
Good.
So
We'll get a
keep
little update on what's happening.
Always like that.
Mm-hmm.
In the Nancy Guthrie disappearance, which has been shoved way off the front page.
Yeah, it's kind of gone after the operation.
Yeah.
Epic Fury.
Well, that and the fact that she's been gone for, 34 days today?
Yeah, we're on. We're moving
That's
on
not
to
right.
week 5.
32 days. 32 days.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Nancy Guthrie's disappearance. Sheriff says authorities are looking into a car caught on the ring cam, but they haven't made an ID yet. You're like, really? So this is the first we're hearing that there was a car caught on the ring cam. We're 32 days in, and you decided, oh, by the way, we saw a car. You're like, really?
Car.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't behoove him to now talk about that there's a car and a ring camera.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It just sounds like the gang that can't shoot straight. You guys, come on. You should have had this within the first, I don't know, 4 or 5 days.
Yeah.
Go through the neighborhood, find out who has ring cameras. She had a Nest camera,
Mm-hmm.
so this had to have been someone else in the neighborhood with a ring camera. And do what you need to do. I would have gathered those up instantly.
Pima County Sheriff Chris Nanos said authorities are looking into the car caught on Nancy Guthrie's neighbor's ring camera footage that appeared shortly after she disappeared, which means, of course, it could be nothing.
It could be.
Nanos made the remarks in an interview with NBC News referencing ring camera footage obtained by Fox News Digital from a resident at the Catalina Foothills neighborhood. This is great. The media got this before the sheriff did. The video shows 12 vehicles driving by on the morning of Nancy Guthrie's suspected abduction, including activity around 2:30 a.m., roughly the same time authorities say the 84-year-old pacemaker last synced with her iPhone. When Nanos was asked specifically about the ring camera video obtained by Fox News Digital, he said, "We're aware of it, and we're looking into it. It's just another piece of evidence." I love this. He says, we're closer to finding the culprit. We're closer to
Really?
finding a suspect.
Really?
Yeah.
What's he based that on?
Here's
What's your criteria for that?
here's how that works. You see where I am right now?
Yeah,
You see where I'm
uh-huh,
sitting?
yes.
Okay, yeah. I'm now closer to Tuscaloosa. By about a foot.
That's about right.
What does that mean? We're closer
Nothing.
to
It
getting
doesn't. You're not.
You're coming across like the gang that
you know,
couldn't
you
shoot
can
straight
have
again.
you can gather more and more evidence. It doesn't necessarily mean you're closer to
No.
finding who this person is or where Nancy Guthrie is. It just means you have another piece of evidence.
Yeah.
Unless one of those pieces of evidence leads you to the vehicle that maybe took her away, or to the person that was on her Nest camera.
Yeah.
You're really no closer than where you were when we started this.
Really amazing to me. Truly amazing to me.
And
that
I
this
keep
has gone on
praying that
both today.
behind the scenes, the FBI, forget local
Yeah.
sheriffs. I'm hoping the FBI, somebody is running something similar to the Koberger case, where we
Mhm.
thought for a long time, that's at a dead end. That guy got away with this.
Yeah.
And meanwhile, they did have a car, and they were able to deduct that it was him. And maybe that's where they are with this Nancy Guthrie case. It's just quiet, except for the sheriff, who just keeps looking like a boob.
Mm.
I hate to say it, but he does. You just need to say, you know what? Until we have something really, some hard evidence to report to you, we're not going to
Right.
speak to the media
We're
for a
just gonna-
while.
No, I mean, the problem, of course, is then people go, well, you're not doing anything.
Well, it doesn't necessarily
You know.
mean that. Just we don't have anything new to tell you. We're continuing our investigation, and leave it at that.
On a completely unrelated note, I must have had more than 5, fewer than 10. I couldn't name the exact number. People yesterday asked me about the razor situation.
It's like I'm telling you, it's very similar to the butter on the counter.
You start talking
The
about like,
razors. Well, everybody,
yeah.
everybody,
shaves,
yeah.
guys and girls both.
Everybody shaves and want to know what the best razor is.
Yeah.
Kind of like what's the best whatever.
I was mentioning the 5, the cool Gillette
Because of Steve
Fusion
West?
5.
Yeah.
He's the one that set me up with it, and used it again this morning. But
Uh-huh.
it really is. It's like the
It's
best
like
way-
butter. It's like butter on your head, Richard.
It's like shaving with a pillow.
Oh, that's
is what it
nice.
is. I mean, no other way to describe it, really. I feel perfectly safe
Mhm.
I feel like there's no chance that I'm going
No
to
nicks,
cut
no
myself or
cuts?
nick myself in any way,
Do
shape,
you
or form.
cut or nick yourself much with that razor, Steve,
No,
since you've used it more?
not as much.
Yeah.
No? Okay, good.
I never felt as confident with the Mach 3. I mean, I always felt good about the Mach 3, and I knew how to use it, but I always felt like there was a skill involved. This feels like I could be,
You could
drunk
have a
and shave
2-year-old
my
do it,
head.
right,
Yeah, I mean, I
yeah.
could be like drunk and shave my head, and it would still be like, oh, you nothing to worry about. You're fine.
Mm,
This thing is sort of built for that. So
that's good. You
yeah, I
going to
got
try it the next time you're drunk?
no, got a lot of
I wouldn't advise it.
A lot of questions
It's like,
about it
why not?
yesterday.
Hey, let's see if it really doesn't cut while I'm drunk.
Yeah, this is pretty good. Enough of the shaving my head. Let's shave other parts of my body.
Whoa.
Okay, that's enough of that. That will
And
be.
wake up the next
enough
morning.
of
What
it.
the heck
What did I
did
do?
I do?
Why did I think that was a good idea? I look like a swimmer. 7 o'clock with Dixon and Vining, Talk 99.5, talk995.com. Feel free to drop us a line at 545-9950. You can text us there. You can call us there. If you are so inclined, we'll be talking about another variety of issues coming up in the next hour, maybe yours. But if we don't get to yours, well, bring it up yourself. That's what the text line is for. You can also download our app, talk995.com.